Welcome everyone to my Hollow Knight ranking of the top 5 easiest boss fights in Hollow Knight. Hollow Knight is one of my favorite games ever, and I've been waiting to make this ranking for a while, but before we start, I just want to say I'm ranking these bosses by their base versions, not their ascendant versions, but their base versions. And with that out the way, let's start. Starting the list at number 5, we have the Dung Defender. Now this boss fight go hard. The problem with the Dung Defender is he's just too easy. The boss is cool, but his attacks just aren't enough and leaves more to be desired, which this all gets improved on in the dream version of this boss fight, the White Defender, which is a super fun boss fight, one of the best in the game. But anyways, back to the Dung Defender. He has two attacks, one where he throws shit at you, another where he dives through shit across the room. But both these attacks are very easy to avoid. The Dung Defender also has an enraged attack where he kinda goes crazy with his shit, literally. The reason why it's not higher on this list is because this boss can actually hit you a decent amount, and unlike the other bosses ahead of us, can be killed faster and with even more ease. Next, as the fourth easiest boss fight, we have the False Knight. The False Knight being on this list should be no surprise, but the False Knight has two attacks that are very easy to avoid, and another attack where he repeatedly slams the floor and rocks fall from above. During this attack, you can hit rocks toward the False Knight to deal more damage, which makes this boss even easier. Also, I really wanted to put this boss at the second easiest boss fight, but then I remembered that you don't actually get soul from hitting this boss like a normal boss, so you only get soul for hitting him without his helmet on, which makes it hard to kill him with spells or to even heal if somehow you actually take damage. So for that reason, even though you can kill him very fast, he's the fourth easiest boss fight. At the third easiest boss fight, we have the Vengeful Fly King, and this boss only has two attacks, one where he flies straight at you and another where he spawns and flies. Both these attacks are very easy to avoid. In fact, one of his attacks are so bad where he spawns and flies, it basically gives you free soul because this attack is just terrible. Like it's just spawning in the enemy, one of the worst enemies in the game, so it's terrible. It's just not a very fun boss fight, and yeah, that's all I really gotta say about this guy. The Vengeful Fly King is just a bot. Next, for the second easiest boss fight, we have the Gross Mother. The Gross Mother has one simple attack where she slams herself up and down across the room. Yeah, it's that easy. It's so easy and so simple. It's literally the first boss fight of the game. What makes this boss fight easier than the Vengeful Fly King is just how much faster you can kill the Gross Mother with ease than the Vengeful Fly King. In order to kill the Vengeful Fly King fast, the best way to do that is to double jump, then dash, then repeatedly pogo on him, which at first is not an easy task, especially for beginners, and also requires you to get the double jump and dash ability. With the Gross Mother, it's a more simple process with no extra abilities needed. With that explained, and that reasoning, that beautiful logic, that's why the Gross Mother is the second easiest boss fight in Hollow Knight. It should be no surprise, and I really fucking mean that, like it should be no surprise that the Massive Moss Charger is the easiest boss fight in the game. The Massive Moss Charger is a boss you find in Green Path and has only two attacks. On one of his attacks he jumps right over you, and on the other he charges right at you. These attacks are some of the easiest in the game, but what really makes this the easiest boss fight is just how fast he can be killed by just repeatedly hitting him when he does his charge attack. This boss fight is just a joke when you do this, and it doesn't matter how far into the game you are. This boss will always die in seconds, and because of that, the Massive Moss Charger deserves, and rightfully owns, the title of the easiest boss fight in the game. And we're here, the end of the video. If you have made it all the way, please consider subscribing. If you would, it would mean a lot to me, and right now I think I'm only at like 37 subscribers, but of course you don't have to. Anyways, today we ranked the top 5 easiest boss fights in Hollow Knight. Next time we'll rank the top 5 hardest boss fights. Anyways, have a good one, and I'll see you in the next one.